Welcome to another The Builders Extra, where we extract something else from a previous episode. Usually that's the last one. In this case, it's episode 76 with Genesis Amaris Kemp. We talked about her story and a lot about diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. That is not what we're going to expand on today. That's her realm, but it kind of ties into it, though. One of the things that I was struck by in that conversation is how well-spoken she was, how knowledgeable, and just how really good she was on that topic. Now, there's obviously good reasons for that, right? I couldn't talk on that topic for all those reasons. Number one, I'm obviously a white male. I can't talk on that stuff. You know, I can talk about it, but from my experience, I guess, but I can't talk deeply about it. Like, I don't have that experience. That's her experience and millions of other Americans. But the other thing is that she also has written a book on it, right? That's why we talked about it, right? I have somebody on, they talk about their story. A big part of her story is writing that book. And through that process, she also coaches and obviously goes on podcasts, has her own podcasts, probably thinks about and talks about those topics a lot, right? And that's what really struck me. And that's where I'm kind of taking this is we all have unique journeys, right? What do I talk about? You know, I talk about business, marketing, online stuff, websites, building teams. I'm actually going to be on a podcast later this month, talk about my team, how I built my team. This is my wheelhouse. This is what I think about all the time, what I've written content about. I haven't written a book yet. We'll work on that. But that is my unique skill set, but it's also my unique knowledge, right? My unique experience. I've been building websites and building businesses for decades. I'm a nerd. That's all I think about. Almost. I think about other stuff too sometimes, but I do think about it a lot. And it's my passion. It's just who I am, right? But we're all different. We're all unique that way. And I think if you're listening to this and you're trying to find your way, like trying to figure out what you should do with your life or how you can become a success in something, or maybe you've had limited success and it's not coming together for you for whatever reason. One of the things I think the lesson with Genesis is, write about what you, first of all, know what your passion, know what your experience is, and make, that the more that experience connects with others or can help the world in some way. I love that we could talk about those topics on this podcast and find kind of an in there, because we're not like, we're a business podcast, so we have to weave it into business somehow, and that works out. But find that thing that you personally have experience with. It's your journey. It's good or bad, right? And we learn from that, and then kind of develop your life around or your content around that, right? And blog about it too. You blog about it, you write about it, you write a book if you can, once you're ready to write a book, and whether that's digitally or physically or Amazon, whatever. Again, I'm not an expert in that area. I've written books, so this is why this kind of resonates with me too. So, ebooks, years ago, and I used to write a lot of like short reports, short ebooks, but I also had like a huge 200-page guide, detailing how to promote affiliate programs with pay-per-click advertising. I wrote that. I wrote many revisions of that. By the time I was done, I think I was like on version 7.2, because I would do little reversions in between. I did that for years. But I knew that content so well. I could speak at it. In fact, I did at seminars and stuff. But I could talk to anybody on that topic, every detail, because I knew it, I breathed it, I wrote about it, and also blog posts and other content stuff, and just talking to people, and coaching. And that's how you get good at something. So when I was listening to her, especially when she was telling her story, and she's like, I didn't interrupt her during that story because I didn't want to interrupt that flow, because I could tell that she had told this story before, and I wasn't going to interrupt that flow and take us off course right away. I wanted to let her finish like her story when she was ready. And then I kind of, circled back and we went on to other topics. But as she was talking, even talking about, she said diversity, she wrote the title, right? Diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, because she said that like 4 or 5 times during the last half of the podcast as we were discussing those things. That tells me too, it's like, oh yeah, it's not bad to it's not so much that she rehearsed it. She just really knows her topic. And so, find that thing for you. Find something that you can get passionate about, that is meaningful to you, that can have an impact on the world, and just get really good at that. That's what you do. That's what you read about. That's what you learn about. That's what you write about. That's what you construct a business around, right? If you can. And you can be a rock star and do podcasts. Come on my podcast. Anyway, I hope this was interesting. Like I said, that's what really stood out to me. I kind of, when I listen to people, the content, but I like to kind of look at the person as well. And like, during the podcast, I'm always like, I wonder who, I always talk about what influenced them, who influenced them, how did they become this amazing person? But part of that too is the content itself. How did you become so good at what you do? Until next time, take care.